Hey, what's up? It's me, Jason Dupree, and I can't believe I've never done that before, and I'm not sure if I want to ever do it again. I am starting this over because I messed up the first. Well, I didn't have the mic on the first time. I totally forgot about it. But I just got done running the Spartan Jacksonville Super, which is why I've got blue on, and I've had a meal, and now I'm going to head back to the hotel. Is this car wants me to go? Okay. I'm going to go to the hotel and edit the footage because although I ran age group, I also ran with my GoPro to make an all obstacles video. So I've got the rest of the day because tomorrow is the Elite Series, National Series race, which we'll be covering. And I'm going to be on site for that tomorrow morning, but it's early. That's why I ran age group. I ran age group, but I ran the latest wave of age group possible because although I wanted to get done early, I didn't want to have to get up too early. So I felt like that was a great compromise there, and it worked out pretty well, I think. I didn't have to get up at 5 a.m. I got up at 6 and got there, and then I sat in my car for like another 15 minutes, and then literally got at the start line, crossed over that wall at 6:45 or 7:45, which is the last wave. They didn't go off right at 7:45, so I had time to tie my shoes and do like 3 leg swings. But it says my phone's hot, so hopefully this keeps recording. I probably should have took off the case. I've been having it on during navigation, and I can see that it's shaking a little bit. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Probably nobody watching the video anyways. But yeah, it's probably better to have the case off whenever you're doing a lot of stuff. Getting right into the Tech Talk. OCR Tech Talk 2025. It is OCR Tech Talk time. Officially switching. Now, I'm not going to change any of the official channel names. Like, I'm not going to go change my Instagram name or anything else, to be honest. The only thing that's changing is that I'm now going to say the words OCR Tech Talk and call it that. And the logo that you'll see inside of the YouTube thumbnail or the Instagram post says OCR Tech Talk. Not TikTok. It's not OCR TikTok, which I might as well go get that TikTok account, right? But OCR Tech Talk, and I just to be cheap, I wrote it in. I just put a little line going in between OCR and Talk and wrote Tech, by hand, basically. On the computer, but by hand. Which I thought was just comical. So, yeah, the course today, so obviously I'm going to record some more tomorrow after the race on the way back to the airport. But I've got 3 people, 4 including myself, registered to film the elites. We're going to film it, record it, and do the show Monday night with Bracken and Jack Bauer. Bracken Crocker and Jack Bauer as the commentators. So really looking forward to that. I honestly don't know who is racing. I haven't seen a start list yet. And as other people are talking about, there's not been a lot of buzz about the National Series. So we'll see. Now I know today I did see Cassandra Gill won for the women. And oh no! There goes the camera. Alright, well, this is I'm gonna get words from Will Hicks about this. I gotta just sit there. It's not hanging now, so it should be okay. For the men, I know there were a couple names that raced today that I recognize, so I don't see why they wouldn't race tomorrow. But we'll see. Like Cassandra, I'm sure she'll race tomorrow. Why wouldn't she race there? So this morning I raced with a GoPro to film an all obstacles video, and I got, I think, 9th in my age group. I think it was like 16 minutes behind. I think first was like 56 minutes, but in my age group, obviously, that matter. But, just comparing yourself to those around you. But like first or second through 8th, I don't know, was like the highest time. Second, third were 101, and I got 115 with filming, with stopping and setting up the camera at every obstacle, and missing my spear. So had I had a clean race and wasn't filming, who knows? I might have gotten an H or podium. But that's just to say that I feel good. I feel like I don't think I'm doing my best. Like I'm trying to eat well and I'm doing okay. I can't remember if I talked about this, but I actually, last year after, it was last year at the beginning. So at the beginning of last year, after the holidays happened, after everything died down, January, February, March, when things slowed down, that was the hardest time for me. After getting divorced and a whole year passing. But not a whole year. Was it a whole year? God, now I can't even remember. Or was last year a good year? Frick. Time's just flying by, how it goes. But I was taking... Yeah, I honestly can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I started taking hills for weight loss, not for male enhancement. But for weight loss, they have a weight loss line, and it works really well, I thought. For anybody interested in trying it out, the only side effects I had was diarrhea, and I just dealt with it. It wasn't like horrible, but definitely something I noticed. But besides that, it did work really well. And honestly, the best thing about it was that it just helped get me out of that slump. There were other things that I did to help with that too, but like getting my weight back down to where I wanted it to be and to get like even further. So I got down, normally past probably 10 years, I've been running 160 at the lightest, and then like 165 is kind of like not training super hard, not being super specific. But after, where was I going with this? After, taking hills, I actually got down to where like 157, 158 has been fairly normal. Like now I see 160 and I'm like, oh, I've been eating too much. I think a part of that is probably loss of muscle mass, just from not like I run and I climb. Oh, I do work out with F3, but it's not a consistent, like I'm not going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. So I'm sure muscle mass somewhere along the lines is probably a part of it. But overall, I feel really good. Like I feel like I'm at a weight that really works for me. I'm running well. I ran the Cowtown, which is Fort Worth, Cowtown Ultra Marathon this past weekend. Was that past weekend? Yeah, it was this past weekend. 50K, and did great. Felt really good. I'm signed up for 100. Well, still got to sign up. I got my flights for 100 miler in September and up in Colorado. I just feel like it's gonna be a good year. I think I made it through the winter, probably the best I have. Maybe ever. Probably my first time going through the winter, actually staying in shape. And I'm trying to remember the heaviest I got through the winter. I don't think I even got up to 165. Seriously, I think it's the best winter I've had. Continue running, continue training, and it's just been really good. So, so I ran pretty well today. Felt good. I did forget to bring sodium stuff. I didn't bring any sodium pills, so I didn't have any this morning. I went to a gas station and got a electrolyte drink, which had like 270 milligrams of sodium, and I didn't even, it's fluid, and I didn't want to like saturate myself before the race, but I I drank not a little more than half. Drank a little more than half. And I definitely can tell weather was pretty good. So not too, started out like 45, close to 50, I think. So not bad weather. But it definitely, like, sun was out. It was nice enough to sweat. And it was good. It was a good race. The course was good. Everything was pretty dry, but that area just has a lot of like marshy areas. So there was a good bit of mud that they put us through. Nice long, what was it? Nice long, barbed wire crawl. Nice long barbed wire crawl that was really good. And muddy. It was really muddy. It's good and muddy. Ooh, I gotta move this. But yeah, I got the camera. The GoPro was being weird. Usually, I have it set to where it's off. You hit the record button and it starts up. And then when you hit the record button, it turns off again. And it wasn't doing that. It was actually turning off, but then turning back on. And so I saw that the battery was dropping pretty quick. So I ended up popping. I ended up fiddling with it while I was running, which obviously slowed me down too. And then I ended up popping the battery out and then just shoving it right back in to turn it off so it wouldn't turn back on. I did that a few times, and eventually, like maybe 4 miles in, 3 or 4 miles in, it finally started turning it off properly after I hit, stop recording. So I was down to 1% because of that when I crossed the finish line. But yeah, I've got that video. I'm going to go edit it today. And since I really got nothing else going on, go edit it today and hopefully get it out today. And then record tomorrow, I'm going to try and catch, I got a 5 o'clock flight just to be safe, but I'll see if I can catch an earlier flight as soon as we're done with the race. Because I'm expecting us to be done by 9. The athletes are going off at 7. And yeah, and it's a sprint. Flat course, a little muddy, but mostly flat, fast running. So the only other thing I'll add before I stop for now is that I went to Walmart and I picked up some liquid IV, and I got some pina colada. I haven't tried the pina colada yet. Well, also, because how could I turn this one down? Some cotton candy. Blue cotton candy. I love, cotton candy is probably my favorite ice cream. I like anything flavored cotton candy, to be honest. And it's just okay. It's not as amazing as I was hoping for it to be. But it makes the water blue, which is fun. So I'm just going to be drinking liquid IV for the rest of the day to just make sure that I get those electrolytes back in, because running 6 miles isn't bad, but if I don't take in more electrolytes, I will get a headache. I can feel it. It's barely there, but I'll, try to keep that from getting worse. But that's it. I will be back tomorrow after the race, and thanks for listening. See you then. Hey, good morning, and this is Jason Dupree again. This is part 2 of Jacksonville coverage. OCR Tech Talk here. We just got done filming the race, and honestly, I don't know if I've got that much to talk about. Everything went pretty smooth. It was just as muddy as it was yesterday. Athlete wise, I'll talk about the athletes a little bit, but yeah, things went well. Got nothing to report issue wise. Had my team made it in. Made sure everybody's. We had Daniel Hickman, Ryan something, and John something. Daniel Hickman, he's done a lot of. He actually ran a ruck at DECA World Championships.
So I know I've seen him out there a lot. And these other two guys they raced yesterday and wanted to, earn another race code. So came and helped out this morning. So they did a great job. The only other thing really to say is that the race was fast. I mean, they were just flying. Cassandra Gill was in first place for the women out the gate, and she was just blazing. Like, I was having a hard time keeping up with her. I definitely burned my lungs at the beginning. Like, it was just quick. The most notable thing about the race that I saw was when Cassandra got to the spear throw, she missed, started doing her burpees. Second place came in, which was Casey Monroe, and she missed. She started doing her burpees. And then third place came in, missed and started doing her burpees. So we had 3 women doing burpees, and by this time, Cassandra had finished her burpees and took off, but not far behind her was fourth place, who had hit her spear and then skipped ahead, skipped the O2, got into second. So she was on Cassandra's tail, and Cassandra held her off for the rest of the race, but I believe second place was an Italian girl, Claudia? It's either Claudia, something like that. Claudia or Claudette, maybe. One of those. Came from Italy. Her and second place male, so Adam Beach got first, and second place male, Matteo, I believe, both from Italy, both on the Italian National Series teams, said that they are coming out to do the rest of the series. They're going to do three races in the series. So they're going to do the U.S. National Series, and so they're going to do the Italian Series and the Germany Series, which is awesome. How cool is that? Like, I know in the U.S., that's something that we don't have right now, is the National Series teams flying people around, paying all that kind of money. So really, really cool to see these other countries that are doing it. So congrats to them for getting to do some fun stuff like this. That's totally cool. And third place was Casey Monroe, and she was in second at the spear. She finished in third. And for the guys, Matteo was in second, and Ryan Gawiski, I believe, was third. Talked to him, interviewed him. He said that he hadn't been racing in 3 years. That's a name that I'm definitely familiar with, but hadn't seen him around in a while. And he said that he saw him video. He did a DECA fit, and he saw a video of himself, and he's like, "Oh man, I need to get back in shape." So he's decided to get back into it a little bit. So he may do the rest of the series, I think, depending on how Charlotte goes. And it seems like I heard that from some other people too. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do Charlotte since it's close, and then see how it goes and decide if to go to Big Bear, Utah. So that's your kind of your front runners at the moment: Adam, Matteo, and Brian, and then Cassandra, Claudia, and Casey Monroe. Now, obviously, this series, you only have to do 4 or 3 out of the 4 races. So it's definitely possible that we could see some other names. And that's obviously that happened last year where we didn't have more people here for Jacksonville because Alula, and that was just last year. Alula was on the same weekend. That big Tough Mudder Infinity race. I don't think we have any recording issues other than just trying to keep up with the athletes. I think it went well. Here's one technical thing. Whenever I pull the video, so after I get done, I take the phones and I plug them into a laptop and I transfer the video over to the laptop. And then I go upload those later once I get to where I can upload them. iPhones are always kind of weird. Android phones, pretty easy to plug in, and the folder pops up, and then you've got the files right there. With iPhones, you plug them in. Now, from my experience, you have to have this application installed called Apple Devices. And if that's not running, they won't show up. So launch Apple Devices, make sure it's running, and then plug them in. And then on the phone and maybe on the device too, definitely on the phone, you have to tell it to trust the computer. And then if they've got a lock on it, you've got to put in the code for the lock. And then you got to hope and pray that the folder shows up with stuff in it. The things like Daniel's, it wouldn't show up. It would just act like the phone was there. It recognized the phone, but it just acted like there was nothing in the phone. So I started doing AirDrop with his, but it was taking forever. So since I couldn't get his to come up, I told him, we're not doing the show till Monday night. Told him, I'll just send you a Google Drive link and you can just upload it to there. Not a big deal. The other two came up as expected, and I was able to just drag those files over. So I think we're good. Now I did, in the past, especially on some of the longer races, I lowered the resolution, the recording resolution to in the app. The settings are like low, normal, and high. And I definitely noticed, I don't know if other people notice it, but I definitely noticed a difference in low and high. And so this race was a short race, and it was about, the files were about 9-something gigs. The longer races, I've seen those files get upwards of 30 plus gigs. And that's on normal. On high, like the race today, probably would have been 2 gigs. If that, on low. Yeah. So, but the quality's, the quality's always going to be lower. So I recognize that. So it always just kind of depends. Like for OCRWC, we recorded in low because we were doing the shows that evening. So we didn't have a lot of time to sit there and wait for files to upload. Because especially when you don't have super fast internet, trying to load a 20 gig file can take a long time. So we went normal today. And if we, on these races where we do the shows, and I think we're going to do this for the rest of the series, where we do the shows on Monday evening, I think it'll be just fine to go normal and have the larger files. Show will be on Monday night, and we've got Bracken and Jack doing commentary. And I got a little more work to do on like show prep, just making sure all graphics are ready, putting in obstacle names, some of that stuff I kind of have been a little behind on just because things are just nothing, because it's easy to get set up. I already know I've got most everything ready to go. We've been doing this for a few years now, so things are pretty quick and smooth. Got to hang out with Jack Gorse a little bit. Got to have dinner yesterday, and got to see him out on the course. But I'm heading home. I'm gonna try and catch a earlier flight, but it did say that there are 0 seats on the standby list. But we'll see. Go ahead and get out there, and if nothing else, I'll just work on the show from the airport while I'm waiting. But anyways, that's really it. It was just quick and smooth, and I don't know if I've got much else to share. So I'll just go ahead and call it there. My video yesterday was even longer, so all good. Thanks for listening, and see you next time, I think in April, for the Charlotte race. All right. Y'all have a great weekend.